Welcome to Future Consideration, SB Nation's weekly NFL draft show. That's Dan. He watches college football.
That is Matt. He is our NFL guy.
Correct. Before we get into things, bit of housekeeping. Next Thursday night is the first round of the NFL draft. SB Nation is going to have a live show, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's before the draft starts, and then 11 p.m. as the first round wraps up. It's going to be great. Dan, who have we got on tap?
We have Jeff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman, active NFL player, to break down all things draft experience, all the offensive linemen, defensive linemen, all the positions in the draft.
Dan, does ESPN's draft show have an active NFL player as a guest host?
I'm going to guess no.
They do not. No. What about the NFL Network? Do they?
It's just a guess again. No.
That's why you should be watching SBNation.com at 7 p.m. Eastern on April 30th, and again at 11 p.m. It's going to be fun. Let's get into things.
Okay.
With the mock draft, the penultimate mock.
There it is.
The penultimate mock
Good
for
use.
mocking the draft. Thank you. Number 1, Tampa Bay taking Jameis Winston. No surprise.
Not a surprise. It would be a huge shocker, though, if they go in another direction here. They could trade down. Obviously, there are stupid GMs who will throw picks at other GMs in exchange to move up. But yeah, as it stands now, it seems Jameis is the pick for Tampa.
I can't help but feel a little bit worried about spending the first overall pack in the draft.
Sure.
The pack in the drift.
Yeah.
On Jameis Winston, a player with so many questions both on and off the field.
The surefire way to have a bad NFL team for a long time is to miss on a quarterback early in the draft.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the Tennessee Titans would take Marcus Mariota, quarterback from Oregon, at 2.
I like this pick because if there's anything good teams do, it's they draft good quarterbacks somewhere in the draft. Marcus Mariota is the surest thing in this draft if you combine both on and off-field abilities.
Yes.
So yes, it makes sense. The rumor, though, is that Tennessee could trade down because San Diego does covet perhaps a future quarterback if they're to trade Phil Rivers.
This would be very intriguing, and I would like this even more than the Titans taking Mariota, is for them trading for Rivers and sending Mariota to San Diego.
A more stable situation in San Diego or Los Angeles,
just because Ken Wisenhunt likes that tall, immobile quarterback.
Absolutely. All right, Jacksonville at 3. Going with Dante Fowler, who's not my number 1 edge rusher on the board. I like him. I like him a lot. He's a top 5 talent. I don't know if he has the polish to be NFL ready as a top 5 guy. It's number 3 overall pick. And Jacksonville, a pretty good defense, too. Stockpiling pass rush is never a bad thing.
Yeah, Chris Clemens is 34. You might as well get some fresh young talent in there.
Yes, and Dante Fowler certainly has the frame to grow. Number 4.
I would love this pick. If the Raiders ended up with Leonard Williams, DT from USC, it'd be a great pick. Just you and I think he's the most can't-miss player in the draft.
Yeah, I think in terms of pure talent, pure ceiling, and potential, pairing Leonard Williams with Khalil Mack, ooh, that's nasty.
Could the Raiders actually dig themselves out of the 20-year hole that they're in?
If they have Leonard Williams still on the board at 4, it's the no-brainerest pick there.
That would be a coup for them.
Yes.
Number 5, the Washington team taking Vic Beasley from Clemson, another outside linebacker you like.
Yes, and that's another team. You can get better quicker if you can get to the quarterback, and that's obviously at a premium now because the rules do favor offenses and quarterbacks. So if Vic Beasley is there at 5, he's my number 1 edge rusher. We're going to get into this a little bit later after the mock. I love that pick. Trent Murphy looks like he has potential for Washington as well.
It's an obvious need to replace Brian Orakpo at that outside linebacker position. I like it.
Yes. All right, let's skip around a little bit.
Let's bounce around.
All right.
Number 11, a team we haven't talked about a whole lot, the Minnesota Vikings, taking the best wide receiver in the draft, according to you, Kevin White from West Virginia. I love this pick.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot, too. Obviously, Minnesota has invested in wide receiver and free agency right now, but a disappointing second year from Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, so they've traded for Mike Wallace, who is good, but you don't want him to be your number 1 receiver. Charles Johnson and Jarius Wright are both solid, but again, they don't have a playmaking number 1 receiver.
Right.
Kevin White would definitely be that.
And we don't know about Adrian Peterson, and also they have the best second-year quarterback in the league in Teddy Bridgewater. So I like adding. I don't know about 11 if that's a spot because it is a deep receiver draft, but that is a dream scenario for Teddy Bridgewater.
Number 14, the Dolphins taking Todd Gurley.
That's real high.
We have not seen a running back this high in any of our mock drafts
I think you can succeed without a first-round running back in the NFL, and I love Todd Gurley, at least a healthy Todd Gurley. I think this is a reach. Miami at running back, obviously, to become more balanced and improve offense in general. It makes sense at some point. I think this is too high.
They probably have a bigger need at linebacker, but Noshawn Moreno and Daniel Thomas are unsigned free agents. Lamar Miller's entering a contract year, so it would make sense, but I think that, yes, the first round pick is probably better.
I'd rather see them go defense there.
At 16, the Texans picking Jalen Strong from wide receiver.
A team with a very good defense. Yes.
From Arizona State.
Yes, a team with a very good defense that does need to fill in and does have a need at receiver with the loss of Andre Johnson to both age and free agency.
Yes.
So I like Jalen Strong a lot. His value is right around there. He's big, he's strong. He won't be counted on to be a savior because Nuke Hopkins is also very good. But yeah, it's right on the border of value for me at 16.
Yeah, you need a wide receiver who can go and get errant passes if you're playing on the Texans.
That's a terrifically strong point. All right, let's bump up to 28. TJ Clemmings to Denver.
It makes a ton of sense. He's a natural right tackle. He'll step in and start at right tackle from day one.
He's an angry man, too. I love that. He pushes people around.
So it makes perfect sense. It's
Yes.
a good fit. It's a great way to spend your first round pick when you're at the end of that first round.
Yeah, and we saw that when CJ Anderson really started stepping up near the end of the season for Denver, how much better Denver looked on offense, and it was already historically good offense. So it makes a lot of sense. At 32, New England.
Another really sensible pick, and
Yeah.
the sort of thing that you could see the Patriots doing if they don't trade down, which
Right.
is another thing that Bill Belichick loves to do. But
Yes.
assuming they use their actual first round pick on a player, Eddie Goldman from Florida State makes a ton of sense,
Yeah.
filling an obvious hole after Vince Wilfork left in free agency.
Yeah, and it makes sense as well because New England is much more multiple. They do play a lot of 4-3, even though Vince Wilfork's that true nose. Wilfork played all over the defensive line. Goldman has that versatility, especially when healthy. I like that pick, but the asterisk, as always, with New England, wouldn't be surprised if they traded down.
No.
Would not be surprised.
In fact, if you wanted to just make an accurate
Yeah.
mock draft, just be like,
Trade down.
Patriots trade
down.
All right, and that is our review.
Yes.
Our mix and
match, yeah.
Of this week's Mocking the Draft mock draft. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. And again, check us out Thursday night, 7 p.m., 11 p.m. Eastern.